On a quiet Monday morning, August 8, 2005, the Banco Central in Fortaleza, Brazil, was calm. Inside the giant bank vault, everything seemed normal. Workers walked back and forth across the thick floor, checking locks and counting money, just like any other day. They had no idea that just below their feet a huge secret was hiding. A giant hole had been cut right through the floor from underneath, a silent doorway into a sea of treasure. The bank's vault was a fortress. It was built to be one of the safest places on Earth, a giant box made of steel and concrete. To get inside, you would have to beat layers and layers of security, each one designed to stop any thief. The biggest challenge was the floor itself. It was made of 1.1 meters of solid concrete filled with a web of strong steel bars. This floor was not just thick, it was smart. The bank had installed special seismic sensors deep inside the concrete. These sensors were so good they could feel the smallest shake or vibration. If anyone tried to drill or hammer the floor, alarms would instantly ring through the entire building, calling the police in minutes. On top of that, there were motion detectors that watched every inch of the vault. These electronic eyes could see any movement, day or night. The vault also had multiple alarm systems, all connected to different power sources. Cutting one would not stop the others. Breaking into this vault was meant to be impossible. But the team that planned this amazing heist was not a normal gang. They were more like a secret construction crew, a team of experts with a very special set of skills. They were not here to smash their way in. They were here to build their way in, with patience and amazing cleverness. This team was made of smart civil engineers, people who knew how to dig deep underground, and electricians who could power their secret project. They were not just digging a hole. They were building a masterpiece of crime. Each person had a job, from planning the path to making sure the air was safe to breathe deep below the city streets. They worked together like a well-oiled machine, each part moving in perfect sync to achieve an unbelievable goal. The heart of their plan was a secret tunnel. This was not just a small hole in the ground. It was an incredible work of engineering, a hidden road that led straight to the treasure. The tunnel was 256 feet long, almost the length of a football field, dug right under the busy city. No one on the streets above knew it was there. This amazing tunnel went down 13 feet into the earth, far below the pipes and wires of the city. It was a real professional tunnel, not a messy dirt path. The walls were held up with strong wooden beams, and the entire tunnel was lined with plastic to keep out the water and dirt. It was a secret underground highway built for one purpose: to reach the vault. The crew's master plan was not a complex machine or a fancy gadget. It was something much bigger, hidden right under the city's feet. They decided to dig a tunnel. This was the heart of their amazing idea. This was no simple hole in the ground. The tunnel was an incredible piece of work. It stretched forward for 256 feet, nearly the length of a football field. It started 13 feet deep, far below where anyone would think to look. To build it, the gang worked like expert miners. They lined the entire tunnel with strong wood boards and thick plastic sheets. This made sure the dirt walls would never fall in. It was a secret, safe road that led straight to the money. But digging a tunnel is very loud and messy. The people living nearby started to notice things. They saw trucks and vans coming and going at all hours of the day and night. The gang knew they had to act fast to keep their secret safe. To stop the neighbors from getting suspicious, the thieves came up with a clever trick. They threw big, loud parties at their house. They played music and even gave out free hats with their fake company's name on them. Everyone just thought they were friendly new business owners. Inside their amazing tunnel, the thieves had built a tiny working world. They ran an electrical line all the way from the house to the end of the tunnel. This wire powered a string of bright lights, so they could always see what they were doing. Working underground for hours is very hot and stuffy, so the gang built their own air system. It was a simple machine that pumped fresh, cool air through the long passage. This let them dig comfortably for months without anyone knowing. With their lights and fresh air, the team could work day and night. The strong walls of their tunnel kept them safe. Every day, they got closer and closer to the bank vault, moving silently beneath the busy streets of Fortaleza. But how did they know the exact spot to dig? Hitting a vault from underground is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The team did not guess. They used modern tools to make a perfect map. They used special gear like GPS that could tell them exactly where they were. Investigators believe they also had help. Someone may have given them secret blueprints of the bank, showing them the perfect path to the treasure. It is Friday evening, August 5th, 2005. The Banco Central closes its big doors for the weekend. The city of Fortaleza gets quiet. But under the ground, the real work is about to start. After 3 long months of digging, the time has come. The final team of thieves slips into the rented house. One by one, they go down the ladder into their secret tunnel. The air is cool and the lights hum. This is the moment they planned for. The vault is just a few feet away. Deep below the bank, a powerful drill whirs to life. It bites into the final layer of thick concrete and strong steel. The gang works with focus, sweat dripping from their faces. This is the last wall between them and their prize. Suddenly, the drill breaks through. A small hole appears in the vault floor. Dust fills the air. The thieves quickly make the hole bigger, big enough for a person to fit through. They had done the impossible. This was not just a robbery. It was a masterpiece of underground engineering. The months of secret work and clever plans all led to this single moment. No alarms were triggered, no guards were alerted. The gang had pierced the heart of the bank without making a sound. Their legacy was being written right there, in the quiet darkness beneath the city, a monument to audacity and pure, unadulterated nerve, a crime that would be remembered forever. The moment of truth has arrived. One thief lowers his head through the opening. His eyes go wide. He sees stacks and stacks of money. It is a sea of cash, more than they ever imagined. They have reached the treasure room of the Banco Central. The wonder lasts only for a moment. Now, the race against time begins. The thieves have less than 2 days before the bank opens on Monday morning. They quickly form a human chain, a line of people stretching back through the tunnel. They pass heavy bundles of cash from one person to the next. It is hard, tiring work. They must move an estimated 160 million Brazilian reais. That is almost 70 million US dollars. Every second counts. The money moves from the vault, through the tunnel, and up into the fake company's house. The getaway plan is now in motion. The same white vans that carried away dirt every day are now being loaded with millions in cash. Once loaded, the vans drive away, blending in with city traffic. The gang splits up. They use a network of different cars and trucks to move the money far away from Fortaleza. They are vanishing into thin air, just as planned. When the bank workers arrived on Monday, they found an empty vault and a mysterious hole in the floor. The police were shocked. They were not just looking at a simple robbery. They were looking at a masterpiece of criminal planning. On Monday morning, the employees of the Banco Central branch in Fortaleza, Brazil, came to work. They opened the vault and saw something impossible. The money was gone, all of it. The giant room, once filled with cash, was empty. In the middle of the thick floor was a perfect dark hole. The bank had been robbed over the weekend, and no one heard a thing. Police rushed to the bank. They could not believe their eyes. They looked down the hole in the vault floor and saw the amazing tunnel. The gang of thieves had come from under the ground. It was like a trick from a magic show. The police knew this was no ordinary crime. This was the work of a very smart and patient team. The investigation in 2005 began, but it was very hard. The gang had planned for this moment. They cleaned the tunnel and the vault very carefully. They left almost no fingerprints or clues behind. The thieves stole the money and then vanished like ghosts. It was a huge puzzle for the police to solve. One of their cleverest tricks was covering everything in a layer of white powder. This made it very hard to find any marks they left behind. The thieves thought of every small detail to make their escape perfect. They were not just builders, they were masters of hiding their tracks. The first big break for the police came when they found the fake company. They followed the tunnel back to the house the gang had rented. Inside, they saw the huge pile of dirt the thieves had dug out. The entire house was just a cover for their amazing underground project. The police also found maps and tools inside the house. These things showed just how much work went into the plan. For 3 months, the gang worked day and night, right under everyone's noses. The empty house was the secret headquarters for one of the biggest heists ever. A giant search for the thieves started all across Brazil. The police had some names and faces now, but the gang had a big head start. The thieves had the estimated 160 million reals, which was about 70 million USD. With that much money, they could hide anywhere. But having that much money was also a problem. The gang had to be careful how they spent it. If they bought fancy cars or big houses, the police would notice. The success of the heist created a new challenge: how to enjoy the money without getting caught. Slowly, some members of the gang were found. A few of the stolen banknotes started showing up in different cities. But the masterminds, the leaders who planned the whole thing, were still missing. The full story of who they were remained a mystery. The Banco Central heist became a legend. It was famous not just for the money that was stolen, but for how it was done. The story of the secret tunnel showed the world that with enough planning and clever thinking, even the strongest vault is not safe.